Chris, what is our fifth main topic today?
This comes from Count Kenny. Hey, everybody. So last night, the Star Wars social media accounts posted a message telling fans to not be racist. This is in response to Riva actress Moses Ingram posting the many racist DMs and threats she's received. Unfortunately, this kind of toxic behavior is common when you look at what's happened with John Boyega, Kelly Marie Tran, and even Ahmed Best. What are your thoughts on the matter?
All right. Thanks a lot for saying that in, Count Kenny. And listen, I'm going to let you know, my staff doesn't know this, but this is one of those issues that has the potential to get a lot of people upset and angry. So I'm just going to address this one myself. So if you want to get upset or angry at anybody, get upset and angry at me because I don't care. So here's what happens. Obi-Wan comes out. And of course, Moses Ingram, who was really good in her relatively small part, though, in the absolutely phenomenal The Tragedy of Macbeth. By the way, if you're going to be in The Tragedy of Macbeth, you got to have talent on your shoulders. Mm-hmm. She was also I enjoyed her quite a lot in Queen's Gambit. She's a good actress. But I will be the first one to tell you that in watching Obi-Wan, I would say probably my least favorite thing about it, the one problem I had with Obi-Wan, and Rob, you and I discussed this when we did the open spoiler discussion and what have you. And I said right out, I found the performance of Riva by Moses Ingram to be one note and to be flat. And I didn't like that performance. Now, I'm open to the idea that that is actually done purposefully as a stepping stone to something that's going to happen for the character later, all that kind of stuff. I believe she's a good actress. I just didn't like the creative choices made in this particular thing. I didn't like it. And you know what? It's okay. Maybe, I loved the performance of little girl Leia. It's okay if you didn't. I love the performance of Ewan McGregor. It's okay if you didn't. I love Kumail Nanjiani, but I wasn't super thrilled with that character. But if you did, that's okay. So there is nothing wrong with not liking a performance or a character, whatever. You know what? Didn't work for me. And that's perfectly okay. And there's nothing wrong with that. What does become a problem, though, and unfortunately this seeps its way more and more into popular fandom. We're even seeing it seep a little bit into MCU fandom and DC fandom and hell, even some Harry Potter fandom, whatever. But certainly it's been most prevalent in our beloved Star Wars fandom, where a young actress like Moses Ingram, who's been given the dream of a lifetime and hired to come in to play a role, she has to log on to her social media, flooded with hundreds, which now they're saying is thousands, of messages that aren't just saying, I didn't like your performance in that movie, which why you would write to somebody specifically just to say, hey, this isn't going to help me at all. I just want to ruin your day a little bit by telling you that I didn't like your performance. But whatever, that would be one thing. But literally people writing to her with the specific intention of degrading her race and degrading her for who she is, whether that's who she is as a woman, as a black woman, whatever. Again, we're not talking about people who are like me that just said, you know what? Not my favorite performance. That's all. To have to wake up and to be bombarded with that, to say, because of who and what you are, we hate you. Because of who and what you are, we hate you. Listen, I'll never experience that in my lifetime. Not in my lifetime. I'll never experience that. And I can't even imagine or pretend to imagine what it must feel like to be an individual who you're just going out and trying to do your job. And guess what? When your job is in the movie business, some people will like the job you did, and some people won't like the job you did. Some people like the John Campea Show and they like what I do on it. Some people don't. But there ain't nobody that doesn't like my show because I'm Italian. There's nobody who doesn't like my show just because I have zero fashion sense. And I do have zero fashion sense. There's nobody who doesn't like my show because I'm white. There's nobody who doesn't like my show because I'm the height I am, that I move the way. No, there people don't like my show just because maybe they think I'm an idiot. There's something to be said about that. But I'll never have to wake up and just get bombarded with hate simply because of what I am. And the anonymity of the online world provides safe haven for the worst of us to do this type of cowardly, disgusting, awful things that only serves to dissuade other people from wanting to join our fandom. I'm not going to lie to you. one of the reasons that I kind of stopped doing, I used to do a show called Star Wars Talk Tuesdays. And one of the reasons, there were others, but one of the reasons was that there are too many people within the Star Wars fandom that just simply made it not a fun place to be anymore. Not a fun group of people to be associated with. There are going to be people today that are going to try to tell you and distract you from the real issue here by saying idiotic things like this. Disney is saying that if you don't like her performance, you're a racist. No. I didn't like her performance. They're not calling me a racist. They're calling you a racist because you're a racist. There are going to be people out there today who are going to try to distract you, try to change the topic, try to take the attention away from the problem, which is that we have a young woman like this who has to wake up with an avalanche of hatred on her because of what and who she is. And they're going to try to distract you from that. They're going to try to make it seem like they're going to try to change the course of the conversation and say, wow, this is about Disney trying to, no, it's not. This is about so-and-so saying, if you don't like this, no, it's not. There are lots of people like me that didn't happen to like her turn in this show. And I don't. I'm not going to lie and say that I did. I know she's capable of better because I've seen her do better in other projects. But they're not talking to me, and I know they're not talking about me. And everybody with 1 ounce of intelligence knows they're not talking about them. They're talking about you. And listen, if you don't like, and so Disney got criticized heavily when they didn't come out publicly to support John Boyega when he faced that stuff. They got criticized when they didn't come out publicly to defend Kelly Marie Tran when she was facing all that stuff. And it seems like now they've kind of learned their lesson. And they put together a statement, a very innocuous statement, by the way, that just said, hey, everybody, the Star Wars galaxy is huge and large and filled with billions of species. Don't choose to be racist. Is there anybody of us here who'd say we want to be racist? It's a completely innocent yet direct and clear message that they're sending. We're supporting our actress. Something they maybe should have done with Kelly Marie Tran and John Boyega too, but I'm glad they've learned their lesson at this point. They didn't say, any of you who don't like Obi-Wan, you are terrible people. That's not what they said. They said, hey guys, the universe is big. Lots of species. Don't choose to be racist. And you can be like me and many of us here who, hey, maybe that's one aspect of Obi-Wan we didn't like and appreciate. You can do that. There's nothing wrong with that. And Disney isn't remotely implying that there is. But I'm also okay with them deciding to say, you know what? We're going to at least let her know we support her. We're going to say, look, guys, don't do this. If you like Obi-Wan, if you don't like Obi-Wan, it's all fair. I mean, God, I hated The Rise of Skywalker, but whatever. Just don't be racist. That's all. Very simple. And now look, I know there's going to be some people who are hearing me say that, and that's going to turn you off. And I'm okay with that. I'll go one step further. I hope today I lose 1,000 subscribers. Because if you are pissed off simply at the statement, let's not choose to be racist, then frankly, I don't want you as one of my viewers. I mean, that's YouTube suicide to say, but whatever. I don't want you as a viewer. I would love it if you'd go away and not come back. I don't need you here. I would rather go back to doing shows out of my spare bedroom than have people like you here. And there's something that I want to really emphasize here as well. To people who think that the Star Wars fandom is a completely lost thing and all this kind of stuff, I really want to reemphasize that those lowlifes, basement-dwelling cousin humpers who would write into a young actress just trying to pursue her dream and try to attack her, belittle her, and just devastate and destroy her simply because of who and what she is. They represent a small percentage of those of us who consider ourselves Star Wars fans. They are a vocal group. Absolutely they are, because they've got nothing but their voices to try to scream at people. But I want to emphasize they are a small percentage. The vast majority of the people who love Star Wars just love Star Wars. And there's loving Star Wars. Doesn't mean you have to love everything about Star Wars. I don't like the prequels. I hated the Rise of Skywalker. I'm not particularly a big fan of this or that, but whatever, that's all fine. That's the majority of people. That is even, I would go so far as to say, the majority of people who might give some constructive criticism to Moses Ingram's performance in Obi-Wan so far. It's probably just people who just like, hey, yeah, there are performances I like, don't like, didn't like this one. And that's okay. We are talking about a small percentage here. So yeah, I like that Disney just came out and said, hey, let's not be racist. Sometimes we'll do it right, sometimes we'll do it wrong, but let's at least not choose to try to be racist at any rate. That's what I had to say on this topic. And again, I know there's gonna be a lot of people who don't like what I just said, and I'm perfectly comfortable with that. Look at me not care. But yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there and address the situation. So we're gonna end the topic at that, leave it at that, and say, guys, what are your thoughts? As all things, we encourage your conversation. Keep your conversation civil. Jump down to the comment section below and leave your thoughts there. We want to take a second to thank the sponsors of this video, MeUndies. Guys, when you've got a job like mine where you're sitting down talking about movies or sitting down and watching a lot of movies, you learn to appreciate a really good pair of underwear. And this summer, guys, why suffer through junk swamp with that 20 pairs in a plastic bag junk that we normally buy for ourselves when you could be enjoying this summer wearing the most breathable, softest, most comfortable underwear out there, MeUndies. I've been wearing MeUndies for a little while now, and I'm telling you, I am never going back. Because let's face it, guys, summer is sweaty, but your butt doesn't have to be. With MeUndies' light and breathable micro model fabric, you can stay comfy and cool all summer long. They have super fun seasonal prints and tons of styles to choose from in any size from extra small to 4XL, so you can bring the beach to your butt without ever leaving your living room. Make it a soft summer with MeUndies. MeUndies has a great offer for my viewers and listeners. For any first-time purchasers, you get 15% off. If you sign up for their free-to-join membership, you can apply that 15% off to their already discounted membership prices. So to get 15% off your first order and 100% satisfaction guarantee, go to MeUndies.com/Campea. That's MeUndies.com/Campea.